Today we'll be taking a look at the AMC Entertainment stock code AMC. We'll be performing our usual technical analysis and making some price predictions on where we can expect to see the stock go in the near future. Let's take a look. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another stock market video, and today we're doing some more stock market analysis, and the stock we're choosing is AMC Entertainment, known more commonly as AMC by its ticker, and we're going to be performing the usual technical analysis and price predictions we always make using various indicators. But before we get into that, guys, if you do enjoy today's video, remember to leave a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on those bell notifications if you want to see more of this sort of content, as well as other crypto investing, wealth management and stock market videos. I'd also love to know your thoughts on AMC down in the comment section below, where you think it's going and what you think of today's technical analysis. But without further ado, let's jump straight into the analysis. Welcome into the AMC chart, guys. As you can see, the stock has had quite a fantastic run over the past couple of months, and it's currently sitting at $38.01 US. And as you can see, this run really started back at the middle or tail end of May, where we saw a rise from roughly $8.80 all the way up to its peak, which was sitting at roughly $72.54. So a monster run by any standard, and I'm sure a lot of people would have made a lot of money. And something interesting is this stock got really popular on, the Reddit page called Wall Street Bets, and this is where that massive initial pump sort of occurred on that, and you can see it only peaked at $20 back then. So even the people who were buying at the peak have made money and are still in the green from that point. But now let's take a look at the technical analysis itself. A few things I want to point out, and obviously I'm going to start with the most obvious. The key thing here is it is clearly a bull flag that is appearing. Let me draw it in place for you. There we go. We've got our flagpole going up. Very, very nice. And then we have our flag coming down in this sort of a manner. Then what we're going to do, we're going to grab the other end and we're going to put that in place as well. I'd suggest that possibly there are a number of different locations we could be putting it if we want it to be, I suppose, equal, parallel, but I don't think that's the case. I think it is more of a pennant, which is a more triangular formation when it comes to flag patterns. And you can see this is as a result of the stock price basically narrowing down in its volatility. So although we are seeing, lows, we are seeing them not as severe and not following a typical, I suppose, formal pattern. So it's a pennant as opposed to your standard sort of flags that you would see. Now, what does this mean? Well, this in itself is a bullish pattern. So obviously in an uptrend, you want to see a flag, and something of this size, when you compare it to the rest of the chart, is monster. I mean, typically when you look at a flag pattern, the way you work out the next move of this stock would be to look at the previous pole that has formed, and we're talking, from a base of $12.30 roughly to, $72.50. So that's monster. If we're talking where we can go next, well, it depends obviously where we break out from, but if it is, let's say, exactly where we are, let's say we have a big run that occurs in the next few days, and about at the start of August it breaks the top line of resistance at $47, that means you're adding on roughly, $60 potentially as a target, which in my opinion is insane, but it is possible based on the technical factors at play here. Obviously, the first point that would need to be hit would be this key area here, where there has been plenty of price action that occurred. So I'd say this is a main area of resistance, which is at roughly, $58. Once it passes that, really we're talking blue sky for this type of stock. but obviously it needs to break out. We're trending in this sort of pattern, so we'll see what happens. A few bounces off this bottom trend line, which is relatively good news. One thing I will also point out as well is there was a gap on this stock, and the gap was here. It was between 33.62 and up to roughly 35.50. This gap has now been filled, which is why I think the stock was coming down in value over this period of time, because gaps, if you understand them, I suppose typically what you see is gaps will always be filled, which means the price needs to come down to that level or potentially up to that level if there's a gap above in order to fill that area. So interesting stuff there, and that's why I think we've seen, you know, the bounce off the key trend line. Not only that, the gap's been filled and we started moving in an upwards direction. A bit of a, I suppose, top end come back down, then it's gonna probably start trending to test this key resistance point, which is probably going to be a test at around, you know, 43.50 US dollars. So that's probably my target for today's video, based purely off that 43.5 US dollars. But let's bring in some more indicators in order to make some more educated decisions. The first one we always love to bring in is the 20-day, 50-day, and the 200-day moving averages. Very good ones to use, and they're easily the best when it comes to, I suppose, working out exactly where we're sitting from a trend perspective. Let's just quickly pull out the 200-day as well. All different colors so we can see what's going on. 200 days not even going to come into effect. It's so far away. It's sitting at $15.37. What is interesting is that the 50-day and the 20-day are looking like they could cross, and this cross is actually not going to be a good one, because it will be the 20-day crossing below the 50-day moving average. So the 50-day moving average is currently sitting at roughly $42, and the 20-day moving average is sitting at $43. So not much of a difference there at the moment. Sorry about the adverts, just getting rid of them. And basically we don't want to see this occur, because it indicates that we could be then going in a downwards motion. Obviously the flag would indicate we're going that way, but hopefully if we do see the price pick up a bit, we might see that this only crosses over slightly, maybe in this sort of a fashion, and it really just crosses back up within the next few days. But one thing that's important to note is this will act as a key point of resistance. We've got two trend lines which are converging right there, so to break through that would be relatively major for us moving forward. So that is important on its way to, you know, hit that top point of resistance. Now let's just bring in a few more different things. MACD, a great one. Oh, I'm in the wrong screen. There we go. MACD, let's not get confused. Here we go. This is good. This is actually the opposite of what we're seeing on here. We are seeing that there has been a big sell-off, and now it's, you know, getting smaller, smaller, smaller. We're going to see that shorter term line go through the longer term line, and as a result, a potential reversal in the direction of the trend, which would support the flag theory that we've got currently going on. So we could be in for a big few days here. I'd be looking for, if I was trying to enter, that key point where we're seeing, you know, those moving averages. Make sure that gets passed before you do enter. You want to have that confirmation, and you want to look for that potential breakout that's going to occur. One final indicator I'll bring in is the RSI, or Relative Strength Index, and that's not sitting too high, it's not sitting too low, it's sitting at roughly 44.50 points, so that's alright. We've got the range of 30 to 70, it's sitting definitely well in that. You can see it spiked insanely high to 95.58 when that huge run did occur, and I'm sure if we zoom out a bit you'll see, yes, it has done the same previously. So even though it goes into the overbought section on these runs, that means we have plenty of space to move upwards once again should we break out. So very, very exciting stuff for holders, and as I say, my key point for holders to break through here would be that 43, you know, 44, $45 mark, this key resistance line that is currently in place. I'd love to know your thoughts on AMC down in the comments section below. Do you think we're going to see a breakout on the stock soon? If you did enjoy today's analysis as well, please remember to leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing and turning on bell notifications for the channel if you want to see more stock market investing, wealth management and crypto related content. And I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and with that, have a great day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.